confirmation that you've received the reports?
Yes, I will, because I need to wait for everyone to submit it, right? So that is why when you submit it by 9:30 a.m., you should see you should receive a reply from me saying the report has been received. So if you have submitted your report, you will get a reply from me on the same day that you submit it most of the time. All right. So yes, you will get a reply. Just so that you know that we are, communicating with people, right? So that you can get your feedback, your feedback, and then you know exactly what's going on, and you don't have to worry whether this thing actually got to me. All right. So you will today, all right? Maybe after before tonight. All right. Any other questions about what I just said, or anything that I said last time?
Can you also say how do you want us to write the subject of the email, and also how do you want us to name the report when we
Okay,
send it
I
to
can
you?
do that. You can. That is up to your discretion. But if you want me to be very specific, I can do that. So yeah, I can type up an email later on, specifically saying how you can submit your report if you want to be very if you need more instructions for that. So yes, I will tell you later on how you should write the subject for the report. That's not a problem. All right. Anything else?
Thank you.
So this is just logistic stuff, right? We can just we need to make sure that we understand how we're gonna do this every time there's something due. So you should do that so that we. All right. So this is the syllabus. These are some of the things I wanted to say. I will discuss or review what you should have done for assignment number 1 today before we end this meeting. So I will leave this for now. And this is the example I want to show you of a report that was submitted to me, and I will do that in a moment. All right, so we're gonna get to that eventually. For now, let me introduce assignment number 2, and let me explain some of the things that you may have had trouble with while completing assignment number 1, because there is some things that we need to be clear on before we start moving on to more interesting things. So the title of this assignment is Closed Loop Control and Stability. So we need to know, first of all, what we mean when we say open loop and closed loop systems. So for those of you that have taken EE 371, you will remember that this is one of the first things you consider when you are just going through the loops and working out the equations for the systems. So we need to know exactly what these things are and how, in our case, in our setting, how you can actually code these things, closed loop and open loops, in MATLAB, so that you are clear on what you're doing, and whenever you are doing these things, you don't have any ambiguity as to whether you understand the system or not. So this is something we need to address, and I will do that now. But before I go into it, this assignment is 2 pages long. Hopefully you received this at some time, earlier today, because I did email this out. Some of you may want to see these assignments a week before. If you want to do that, if enough people want to see that, then I will email these assignments, not 1 hour before we start the new meeting, but I can actually do that the week before, or the meeting before we actually have to work on this. So if you guys want me to do that, I will, not a problem. So we have 4 simple tasks that actually walk us through the differences between a closed loop system and an open loop system. All right, so this is meant for you to be able to grasp this concept, and for you to be able to understand why and when you use closed loop closed loops, and when to know that you actually have an open loop. And we also care about the polarity of the feedback. This is something that you will study here, and this is important. We care about the transient responses. Measuring here in this case is may not be very I will not ask you to give me specific data or numbers from the responses. You should have just a qualitative analysis of what you see. There will be no quantitative analysis where I ask you to actually measure the periods or getting some kind of alignment time specifically from the MATLAB Plus, but you should be able to give me a qualitative explanation of what you're seeing. So measuring in this case will not be strictly measuring, right? It will be just explaining what you see. but this relates to measuring, you know, in E371, you can actually calculate these values, the overshoot and the time of alignment. You can calculate these things mathematically, and that gives you quantitative analysis of the thing, of the system, right? In this case, it will be more qualitative. So we'll get to that in a moment. And for the task 4, we are going to review the effect of gain on stability. This is important also. These are some of the most basic concepts that you see when you are first seeing feedback systems. So this is what we'll try to get to today. So for this, I need to show you the MATLAB code. So what I will show you